Hello, this is Shantan from Express Computer, and today we are here at the sixth edition of the Data Center and Infrastructure Summit here in Mumbai, the data center capital of India. The data center industry has seen huge investments and huge innovations and development and growth in the recent years, and which is possibly make India one of the leading data center hubs across the globe. To know more about how the industry is growing, today we have with us Mr. Sharad Agarwal, CEO of CP Data Centers. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Before going deep into the discussion, first of all, congratulations of completing 25 years of CP. It's a huge achievement. You want to talk anything about that?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, SIFI launched India's first private commercial data center on 8th September 2000. And that was the start of, you could say, the data center journey that was aligned with the kind of the digital transformation or technology transformation that India had started after the launch of internet in India in 1995. And since then, sharing of the data, connecting the organization with each other, hosting of the data or hosting of the new wave of technology infrastructure, that's what started in the data center at that time in that place. And then it has continued to grow till now, where a small beginning with 1 megawatt of the capacity has now reached to a level where we have 188 megawatt of operational capacity, and within next few years we will easily touch up to a gigawatt of capacity if all goes well. The key piece to understand and appreciate is in today's world where the life cycle or a life of an organization is shorter and shorter, uh, many of Sifi's peers who would have started the similar businesses in that period, they are not surviving anymore. Uh, this 25 year is a great achievement, especially for a industry which is infrastructure industry, technology industry, or intersection of infrastructure and technology industry, where it is important to be fiscally responsible and prudent during the growth. Uh, it is important to continue to innovate. It is important to continue to react to the new kind of demands and the needs coming from the customers. We have been able to achieve that. And that's what the target and objective we are taking now, that we will continue to do that fiscally responsibly, environmentally responsibly, and also innovatively responsibly to take another 25 years of journey.
Yeah, very two important things that you mentioned, that is like continue to innovate and in a sustainable way. So, do you want to talk about the sustainability goals you are catering at the moment, or people go about like increasing the capacity of data centers, but in a sustainable way is a task. So, how are you working on that particular domain?
So, sustainability or the sustainable growth has multiple factors, and there are few low hanging fruits. The biggest factor right now and the lowest hanging fruit is because data centers consume a lot of energy. The first step and the lowest hanging fruit is that make sure that we are using the renewable energy, making sure that we have good amount of green power investments, and we are bringing the green power into the data centers. So in that regard, what we have done is that we have now 300 plus megawatt of power purchase agreements, and these power purchase agreements are for the fresh solar and wind power generations across India, and from where we are now powering our existing data centers. So that's the first one. The second pace is that when we are developing the infrastructure that is construction of the building, how green steels and the green cements we can use during the construction. The equipment that we are using, the transformers, generators, their manufacturing practices, how green they are. The OEM, the manufacturer, what kind of practices they are using to reduce the footprint of the carbon footprint into the system. The other factor is the utilization, how best we are utilizing the energy, how we are improving the efficiencies. Currently, India is operating, the data centers are operating at 1.4 to 1.5 PUE. How can we better improve on that? What kind of innovation we can bring on that? data centers generate a lot of heat. What kind of liquid cooling technologies we are deploying that will improve the cooling methods in a way that it is not environmentally impacting, or the heats that we are generating, how those heats can be utilized in a much better way. Are there use cases for utilizing those heats? So a lot of these factors are the driving factors around the sustainability. Many of them are still the questions around which we need to go and innovate. Some of them also have answers that we need to go and execute and implement, and some of them we still need to anticipate and understand and figure out those questions that we haven't yet understood. So I would say that these three areas: the known questions with answers, known questions with no answers, and unknown questions. These are the three steps in which we are dealing with or plan to deal with the sustainability.
Excellent. It's not just about growth; it is growing sustainably. One last question for you: what is the vision for building India? A data center economy, and what you think still needs to be done to make India the data center hub of the world.
So data center hub of the world is something that I would still see whether we wish to do that, because as in panel discussion I was saying that when we try to do India as a data center hub, then there is a price to pay on terms of the resources. If another country is not like taking the carbon footprint goals and then they are outsourcing that carbon footprint into India, then we need to assess on that. Even having said that, the most important factor for us still to attract the continue to invest, attract the investment into the data center business, or even able to get the regional countries at least to invest or use the data center in India. There are 3-4 factors. First is infrastructure. We need to make sure that the availability of the power, availability of land, availability of overall infrastructure is taken to the extent that is able to serve the need. Second is the policy. On the policy front, because the sustainability and the renewable energy has become the huge factor, it's important that along with the government, we work to create a conducive policy environment, especially around renewable energy generation and the usage of renewable energy. Create the policy around framework around usage of nuclear energy into the data center. The government has taken certain initiative in the last budget, but we need to see more around that how it can be done. So that's the policy front. Third is the capital. Capital seems to be not a challenge right now, but if there is a lot more attractiveness for the world capital to come to India, or even the sovereign funds within India coming into the picture and be able to make an investment into the data center, that will be the important. Fourth factor is the supply chain. Data centers use a lot of industrial equipment, and we need to make sure that the kind of incentives and the focus we have on building of the data center, we also need to apply the same incentive and same rigor to make in India in manufacturing setup also. So the large multinational organizations or Indian organizations investing in the transformer manufacturing in India in a big manner, or the manufacturing of the generators, the huge capacity generators or huge capacity chillers, huge capacity electrical, mechanical cooling infrastructure. So the supply chain, again, made in India supply chain. And last but not the least is the talent development. And the lot of talent that we need to develop, and then we need to use these talents not just in the metropolitan cities, but also in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. So I would say that these 5 factors: infrastructure, policy, capital, supply chain, and talent. These are the 5 factors where we need to together, along with the industry and along with the government, work to attract investments into the country.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time. This is Sharad Agarwal from CFE Data Centers here joining us today at the Data Center Infrastructure Summit in Mumbai. Thank you.